and a very warm welcome to all the attendees present for the second edition of the Rediscover Maldives webinar series. Thank you for joining us. My name is Noreen Mosa, and I'll be your moderator today. This session is focused on Italy, UK, Germany, France, and USA market. This is a series of destination awareness webinars to share information on how to navigate through the new normal of traveling, regain confidence of travelers in the destination, and portray Maldives as a safe haven, and to conduct the launching of a dozen must-do experiences in the Maldives. To start off, I would like to run through the agenda planned for today. We will be starting with introductory remarks by Mr. Toyib Mohammed, the Managing Director of the Maldives Marketing and PR Corporation, the National Tourism Board of the Maldives. This will be followed by a presentation by Mr. Asad Riza, the Deputy Minister of Tourism. Next would be a small introduction from the PRs of the respective markets. This will be continued by the launching of our new campaign, A Dozen Must-Do Experiences in Maldives. We are also excited to have three of our industry partners. Mr. Lawrence Menz, the Guest Education Coordinator from Six Senses Lama, Mr. Roberto Arganis, Director of Sales and Marketing from Gili Lankan Fushi, Mr. Murad Hassan, Director of Business Development from Villa Hotels and Resorts, who will take you on a virtual journey to the Maldives. We will take one question after each property shows their experience. You may submit the question on the chat box. Lastly, we will be answering some of your questions during the Q&A session. So without further ado, I would like to request our Managing Director, Mr. Toyib Mohammed, to give the introductory remarks. Mr. Toyib Mohammed.
Thank you, Noreen. Good evening from the Maldives, the sunny side of life. It is great pleasure to welcome you to the Rediscover Maldives webinar series. As you may know, on 15th July 2020, we reopened our borders, fully confident in the safety measures and preparations to ensure that the protection of all visitors and people working in the tourism sector itself is covered. Under the current circumstances, the geographical distribution of our islands and the one island, one resort concept guarantees that visitors get to enjoy their vacation in seclusion as it is, and offers a level of safety that can only be achieved in Maldives. From arrival to departure, the procedures set in place are systematic and managed in a manner with the least inconvenience to visitors. Resort facilities and tourist establishments have been regulated to ensure that they are in line with COVID-19 tourism guidelines. Liverboats and safaris have also resumed operations, and they are safe as they are self-contained and do not require contact with local population or visitors outside the group. This ensures that visitors can enjoy their vacation and various activities without any interruption. Today, I'm pleased to be meeting you all from the Italy, UK, Germany, France, and US markets. The Italy market is one of the most lucrative markets of the Maldives, with a total of 136,343 tourist arrivals in 2019. The numbers which we have received from the border opening until 5th of this month is about 230 Italians. Several marketing activities have been carried out to keep Maldives visible even during the past months. Some of the important activities undertaken this year includes outdoor advertisements in Italy, BIT Milan, and several webinars with the travel trade in Italy, plus other online exposures. Germany is also one of our biggest markets with 131,561 tourist arrivals in 2019. The numbers which we have received from Germany until 5th of this month is about 500. Over a dozen important joint marketing activities have been carried out with Germany including advertisements on magazines such as TTG during ITV, post-ITV, FBW issues, advertising on Radio Frankfurt, video run on screens at McDonald's restaurants on F4C basis, FBW travel talks, sponsored posts, and activities carried out with Lonely Planet and Marco Polo. These are some of the events. In 2019, there were 226,199 tourist arrivals from the UK, another one of our main markets. The numbers which we have received from UK after the border opening is about 1,086, which tops the arrival figures up till a few days back. The campaigns with TripAdvisor and Travel Weekly are some of the noteworthy activities carried out during this year. Whereas a fam trip was also carried out with a Telegraph journalist as well as an interview with. A significant number of tourists arrived last year from France and the US as well. US is in the second in the list of arrivals after our border openings with 1,034 US citizens from 385 from France. A media fam trip was carried out for France earlier this year, whereas a media fam trip and Ultra Summit are planned for October and November respectively for the US market. That being said, we are working together with our representatives from the respective markets on more marketing efforts to constantly remind visitors that the Maldives is one of the most ideal and safest holiday destinations. We launched the Rediscover Maldives, the Sunny Side of Life campaign simultaneously with the reopening of our border. Rediscover Maldives webinar series is part of the campaign to share information about the reopening of Maldives and highlight the safety and hygiene measures put in place to ensure that Maldives is a safe haven for both tourists and the staff alike. While we all have been dreaming of travel, it gives me a great pleasure to be launching a dozen must-do experiences in Maldives during this webinar. We hope that these special experiences would inspire you all to visit Maldives again. I hope this webinar provides you with important information about visiting the Maldives and clarifies any questions you may have. Before I conclude, I would like to thank Deputy Minister for Tourism, Asad, and for taking time out of his busy schedule to participate in this webinar. I would also like to thank Alessandra Risicchio from Algo, Italy, Sarah Salad from GCPR Travel and Lifestyle UK, Stefan Hager from Klaus Media Service, Germany, Caroline Mainson from Interface Tourism France, and Krista Ritko from Bullfrog for representing the Maldives in these markets, especially during these unprecedented times. Last but not the least, I would like to thank our industry partners for their utmost support given to us. Always. Thank you, Mr. Lawrence Menz, Guest Education Coordinator, Sixth Senses, LAM, Mr. Mohammed Fawz, Sales Coordinator, Gili Lankafushi, and Mr. Murad Hassan, Director Business Development, Villa Hotels and Resorts. I thank you all for your time in joining the webinar today. I welcome you all to come and rediscover Maldives, the sunny side of life. Thank you. Noreen.
Thank you, Mr. Toyib Mohammed. Now, I would like to request for the statement of the Deputy Minister of Tourism, Mr. Asad Riza. Mr. Asad Riza.
Thank you, Noreen. Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon to you all. As Maldives is now easing out of lockdown and has reopened borders, we are still adjusting to the new normal. We do so by enforcing strong precautionary measures for the tourism industry, from port of entry to transfer and to places of accommodation. Safe travel and guideline for restarting Maldives tourism are measures enforced by the country's health authorities and tourism industry. It has facilitated reopening of Maldives' world-class tourism industry while ensuring the safety of our residents and visitors. we'll make sure that safety is our priority. And with that, as mentioned by the MD of MMPRC, that we'll assure that our tourists, our visitors has to pay the least convenience while experience from board of entry to their accommodation facilities. There are also guidelines that will evolve as we go along, and we rediscover tourism through resilience, a united response with the confidence and convenience. We use this crisis as an opportunity to rediscover a new normal through unity and harmony. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Asad Riza. Now I would like to request the PRs of the respective markets to say a few words. The first introduction will be given by our PR from the Italian market.
Good evening, everyone from Italy. So since the last February, the Maldives Marketing and Public Relations Corporation in Italy is represented by IGO, which is a marketing and communication agency specialized in tourism. The team is composed by Paola Cherry, who is our account director, Alessandra Rischio, which is me, and I'm in charge of the PR and media relations, and Alice Pinna here in the call with me, and Erika Nicastro on the trade side. So the Maldives is among the top holiday destinations for Italian travelers, and Italy is one of the Maldives' top suppliers of inbound travelers. So in the past month, indeed, we have been working to promote the Maldives among the Italian trade, media, and consumer, as well as keeping the destination as the most desired and dreamed. By all measures, 2020 has been historically a challenging year, in particular for the tourism sector. But together with our colleagues, operators, and partners in the Italian market and media, which we thank for their continuous support, we are working to keep high the attention of Maldives in consumers' mind. There are positive signs on the long-haul requests from Italian travelers, showing confidence in our destination, and we look forward to a return to our new normal business practices soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Alessandra. Next, the introduction will be given by our PR from the UK market.
Hi, sorry, it wouldn't allow me to unmute. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sarah Salord, and I'm a director at GCPR from the UK. Thank you very much to MMPRC for providing us with the opportunity today to come and join this webinar to speak with you all and introduce the company and what we do. We are a PR and marketing agency based in London with the collective teams collaborative experience covering decades of experience specializing in working with travel and lifestyle brands. Our expertise lies in creating awareness and developing promotional opportunities for tourism destinations and brands, which require not only a trade and marketing strategy, but also a consumer public relations program. We have worked with MMPRC for 4 years now, promoting travel to the Maldives through PR activities such as drafting and distributing press releases and managing press trips, which we recently did in partnership with one of our resorts with a journalist from the Telegraph newspaper, and creating marketing campaigns with like-minded brands and publications. We also handle the trade activity in the UK, including travel agent training programs and managing events such as World Travel Market and UK roadshows, as well as keeping our trade partners up to date with all the new developments taking place across the Maldives. The UK is one of the most important markets for the Maldives, and research is showing that UK travellers are looking ahead to when travel restrictions will be lifted, and the desire to travel is strong here, with many planning a trip abroad for later on in the year. As destination PR specialists and with the core GEC PR team, having visited the Maldives several times, we have each personally experienced the benefits tourism brings to the country. And despite the current uncertain times around international travel, our aim is to ensure the Maldives remains one of the UK's favourite international holiday destinations for the year ahead. We look forward to working with you all to make this happen. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah. The next introduction will be given by our PR from the German-speaking markets. Stefan?
Hello, everyone, and hi from Hanover in Germany. Thank you for having us. My name is Stefan Hager. I'm a senior PR manager with Chaos Media Services. We are a full-service marketing and public relations agency since 1999, and we have a focus on tourism boards, hotels, as well as tour operators, which we represent in the German-speaking countries. For more than 6 years, we are now responsible for the MPRC, and we execute their marketing and public relations activities in Germany, Austria, and Switzerland. I have the honor to represent our team today. Our team consists also of Ralph, who's mostly focusing on our marketing activities, and the managing director of our company, Axel, who unfortunately can't be here today. The Maldives always have been a very popular travel destination in our area during the last years, and they still are, especially in the current times. Even during the current difficult and challenging situation, we see quite a high interest in the Maldives, and we do our best to even increase this during the next months. We will do this via various marketing and PR activities, which includes collaborations with airlines, but also via fam trips, and we are very looking forward to that.
Miss would you have a few words? Miss Caroline, would you like to say a few words?
Hi, I'm Caroline Marsan from Interface Tourism France. I'm the marketing manager of Visit Maldives on the French market. We are 4 in our team, and we represent the Maldives for 4 years now. We are really glad to be with you today, and we're proud of representing the Maldives in France. Before the crisis, Maldives were going very well. And now that the country has reopened, we have lots of inquiries and requests from the trade, which shows that the Maldives is recovering well, and we are keeping working hard for the recovery of the destination. Thank you.
Ms. Caroline. And finally, we have the introduction given by our PR from the USA market.
Hi, everyone. My name is Krista Ritterhoff. I'm a senior account executive from Bullfrog & Baum, a PR and marketing agency based in New York City, specializing in hospitality and tourism. Thanks so much for this opportunity to introduce ourselves. I'm speaking on behalf of our team, which also includes Managing Director Egwai Ang and Account Coordinator Kate Pressman. We recently began working with MMPRC a few months ago, and we're very excited to be joining the team at this time. We've been working to promote the destination as a safe getaway that is open and accepting to US travelers. We handle both trade and leisure public relations, working with both media and trade partners. We're very hopeful for travel's return. We've seen a lot of demand from our market, and we look forward to continuing to keep the Maldives top of mind for US travelers and help keep it one of the most dreamed of destinations. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Krista, and thank you, everyone. Now we have come to the most anticipated part of this session. We will now be launching our new campaign, A Dozen Must-Do Experiences in Maldives. I would like to kindly request our Managing Director, Mr. Toyib Mohammed, to proceed. Mr. Toyib Mohammed.
I'll be very short. I take pleasure in launching our experiences, and I'm sure that you'll be waiting to see some of them. Yeah. Please.
Experience the sunny side of life. A dozen must-do experiences in the Maldives. Fly above the islands. Witness the beauty of the Maldives by soaring through the sky on a seaplane. Get a bird's eye view of the islands, sandbars and lagoons scattered across the blue ocean. This will surely be a breathtaking experience. Floating breakfast in an infinity pool. Start your breakfast in style and indulge in a fantastic breakfast spread. Treat yourself to the perfect floating breakfast while in the comfort of your own private pool. Remember to take a photo and post it on social media. Live like a local. Live like a local on one of the many islands in the Maldives. Join their laid-back lifestyle. Play football with the children. Enjoy a home-cooked meal. Or simply sit by the beach and sip on a cup of black tea while watching the sunset in the horizon. Welcome to the hidden side of paradise. Stay at your own private overwater villa, perched over crystal blue waters with iconic boardwalks and thatched roofs. Overwater villas are the ultimate source of luxury and privacy in resorts. With the one island, one resort concept in mind, visitors are guaranteed a romantic getaway in seclusion. If you are looking to escape the humdrum of city life and daily woes, this will be perfect. Swim freely in harmony with nature. The Maldives is one of the best countries in the world for swimming and snorkeling. You can snorkel at a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve with manta rays, nurse sharks, sea turtles and even whale sharks if you're lucky. Bar Atoll and Ari Atoll are the best locations for this experience. Exquisite underwater dining experience. Exceptional dining experiences await under the sea, amidst vivid views of fascinating coral gardens, flora and fauna. With flavorful menus on the table and luxury guaranteed, the feeling of being underwater is truly special. Treehouse adventures. Looking for an unforgettable adventure? Or simply an escape amidst the rich tropical vegetation? Book yourself a stay at a resort with luxury tree houses in the Maldives. Bubble tent on a beach. A cosmic experience under the stars in an idyllic stay at a spectacular new luxury glamping concept. The first of its kind in the Maldives, the Bubble Up on a Beach tent at Finalu. Plant a coral and help conserve the environment. Help us save and conserve our underwater beauty by planting a coral and helping in its preservation while you stay in the Maldives. Sunset fishing. With a rich marine heritage, Maldives is one of the world's top destinations for fishing and practices sustainable methods of pole and line fishing. Sunset fishing is an experience not only reserved for fishing enthusiasts, but for anyone who wishes to enjoy a magical sunset out at sea. Experience mystic illuminated shores at night. Have you ever walked along the seashore at night and seen it illuminated by a blue glow? This magical phenomenon is actually created by bioluminescent planktons. Witness the rare beauty in the Maldives. Movie night under the stars. Spice up your date night with the outdoor cinema under the stars. Enjoy your favorite movie under the starry Maldivian sky. The intimate setting is just the private experience you have been waiting for.
Thank you, Mr. Toyib Mohammed. I'm definitely tempted to try some of these myself. Maldives is renowned for its innovative tourism products, and we are honored to be one of the first in the world to bring you such experiences. Do let us know which experience is the most tempting for you by hashtagging your favorite experience with hashtag Visit Maldives on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. That being said, we would now be highlighting 3 of the 12 experiences showcased in the launching video.
Spice up your date night with the outdoor cinema under the stars. Enjoy your favorite movie under the starry Maldivian sky. The intimate setting is just the private experience you have been waiting for. Rediscover Maldives, the sunny side of life.
That was our first experience, Movie Under the Stars. The next experience shows how to start your day in style with a luxurious floating breakfast with sweeping views of the ocean beyond your very own private pool.
Start your breakfast in style and indulge in a fantastic breakfast spread. Treat yourself to the perfect floating breakfast while in the comfort of your own private pool. Remember to take a photo and post it on social media. Rediscover Maldives, the sunny side of life.
The third experience shows how you can experience our sustainable practices in fishing, surrounded by the vibrant colors of the setting sun.
With a rich marine heritage, Maldives is one of the world's top destinations for fishing and practices sustainable methods of pole and line fishing. Sunset fishing is an experience not only reserved for fishing enthusiasts, but for anyone who wishes to enjoy a magical sunset out at sea.
Rediscover Maldives, the sunny side of life.
We hope that all the attendees enjoyed the experiences presented. I would like to allow 3 of our industry partners who are present with us to showcase their own unique experiences. Please note that the respective representatives from the establishments would be taking 1 question directly after their presentations, so please drop your questions into the chat box below. Moving forward, the first experience will be showcased by Six Senses Lamu. I would like to request the guest education coordinator, Mr. Lawrence Menz, to say a few words. Mr. Lawrence.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lawrence, and I'm one of the marine biologists here at Six Senses Lamu. I'm also part of the Maldives Underwater Initiative, which was established by Six Senses Lamu and is in partnership with 3 non-government organizations. And together, we make one of the largest marine biology teams in the country. We offer a range of amazing experiences for you to reconnect with the world around you and swim freely in harmony with nature. The best and most unique experience we have is exclusive for our little VIPs. In our junior marine biology program, children aged 6 to 16 will join our team learn about the ocean and conservation, and do lots of exciting hands-on science and activities. Each day, your child will join us either individually or in a small group for 2 hours where we learn about a certain specialty of marine biology. We've crafted the first 5 specialties and have many more extra ones that we tailor to your child's interests. We start off by learning about megafauna, the big animals, such as manta rays, turtles, and sharks. And then we go on a special snorkel safari to try to find some of these animals. Next, we'll learn about conservation and what we can do to help protect our vulnerable habitats and species. We then take what we learned and turn it into a video, just like David Attenborough. And once your child has finished the program, congratulations. They're now a junior marine biologist and an official member of the Maldives Underwater Initiative team. And they can join a community of other junior marine biologists from all over the world. The program has been running for over 2 years now, and we have tweaked and adjusted it to perfection. It is a crafted experience that your child will fondly remember for many years to come, and is a must-do experience when you visit Six Senses Lamu in the Maldives. Thank you.
Every kid should realise that they can be a scientist too. You don't need to wear a lab coat, you don't need to have gone to university to study marine biology to be a scientist. The Junior Marine Biology program with the Maldives Underwater Initiative is unique. Not all of our 6 modules in this program occur in the classroom. Most of our learning actually happens right behind me here. This is actually our house reef, which is 1.5 kilometres of beautiful tropical reefs. We're lucky here to have seagrass habitats, coral reefs, mangrove forests, all of these places that we can take the junior marine biologists, places that they wouldn't get to see back home, where we can take them to do really practical, hands-on, one-on-one kind of projects that are really going to inspire them. I think the entrepreneurs that are going to solve problems in our oceans are getting younger and younger. You know, you see a 20-year-old who says he's going to clean up 50% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. We need more kids like that. We need more young entrepreneurs coming up with ideas that us old dinosaurs can never even think of. Every kid should realise that they can be a scientist too. You don't need to wear a lab. The marine biology program with the Maldives Underwater Initiative is unique. Not all of our 6 modules in this program occur in the classroom. Most of our learning actually happens right behind me here. This is actually our house reef, which is 1.5 kilometres of beautiful tropical reefs. We're lucky here to have seagrass habitats, coral reefs, mangrove forests, all of these places that we can take the junior marine biologists, places that they wouldn't get to see back home, where we can take them to do really practical, hands-on, one-on-one kind of projects that are really going to inspire them. I think the entrepreneurs that are going to solve problems in our oceans are getting younger and younger. You know, you see a 20-year-old who says he's going to clean up 50% of the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. We need more kids like that. We need more young entrepreneurs coming up with ideas that us old dinosaurs can never even think of.
Thank you, Mr. Lawrence. Since there are no questions, let us move forward. Next, Gililank and Fushi will showcase their unique experience. I would like to request their Director of Sales and Marketing, Mr. Roberto Arganis, to say a few words. Mr. Roberto.
Hello. Hello, everybody, and thank you for having us at this event. As you were seeing in the video, we were talking, Gililank and Fushi was presented with the Coraline project in 2014. Gililank and Fushi was one of the first resorts starting the Coraline project in our lagoon through our former marine biologist, Vaidas. What is special at this Coraline project is that instead of planting pyramids on the ground, we have floating ropes with small fragments of corals in the lagoon close to our castaway platform. These coral lines have up to 50 little fragments, corals in it, which grow thanks to the current that we have in the lagoon, and where later, once having reached the normal size, we can transplant to our house reef. This has a low cost in maintaining it, and is also very efficient thanks to the current that we have. These coral lines can be sponsored by the guests as well when they come and visit. They plant by themselves a small fragrance, a coral line, and can after follow it from home how it grows. Weekly, we maintain them also with cleaning and measuring. Our local marine biologists are busy with this the whole year round. That is a little bit of this experience, which we started in 2014, and we invite you all to join us and experience it by yourself. Thank you.
Since there are no questions, we will move on to the final property. Finally, Villa Hotels and Resorts will showcase their unique experience. I would like to request their Director of Business Development, Mr. Murad, to say a few words. Mr. Murad.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good afternoon for some of you. Thank you very much for making time to come here, listen to us, and take those beautiful inspirational videos. I have, today, I have Zero to present. Zero is the concept restaurant that we have created on Sun Island Resort. For those who do not know, Sun Island is located on South Atoll, about 20 minutes from Male. We are well known for attractions on and off the island, such as the whale sharks on our backyard to see while snorkeling, to beautiful house reefs, to dive spots, you know, in the Maldives scale. So we have a lot of work, a lot of activities and experiences to offer. Zero, on the other hand, is a beautifully conceptualized dining option built on the promise of our delight for the guests. Now, if you really look at everything, most of the resorts, most of the islands have will be around sun, sea, and sand. So we looked inward. We looked into the thick green foliage that we have to offer on this large island, Sun Island. And we have created a beautiful, dreamy looking dining option for our guests, and people love it. This is something that you should come and experience too. We call it Zero because we strive to keep the calories as close to zero as possible, but not all the time. But the most important thing about this outlet is that everything served are homegrown. Every single thing that you get served is homegrown. And it is very different from what you would otherwise see. And again, Sun Island is, for those who do not know, is a very large island, 462 rooms in multiple room categories. So we are able to host, you know, all varieties of guests coming in because we can, but also we have the experience over the many years that we have been. So this one experience stands out to be very, very different. Have a look. Thank you and stay safe.
Thank you, Mr. Murad. And thank you all for virtually transporting us to the unique experiences of your properties. I hope everyone's excited to tick this off your bucket list. This leaves us at the last component of our webinar session, the Q&A segment. I will now be going through some of the questions that were raised prior to the webinar, some from the chat box itself, and allowing the panelists to answer these questions. The first question was submitted by Gabriela Muller from Urebu. Is island hopping between two islands in North Malay Atoll in January 2021 possible if the travelers are staying for 21 days? This will be answered by Mr. Toyib.
Thank you. We welcome all our visitors with a 30-day tourist visa on arrival. A confirmed booking prior to is mandatory. And to encourage and allow tourists to experience more of our islands, the Ministry of Tourism has allowed us a system to split stay. Split stays are permitted between resorts that meet all compulsory requirements under the split stay guideline, approved by HPA. But the request for approval of split stays should be submitted to the Ministry of Tourism 2 days prior to the traveling date. This will hopefully remain the same given the situation remains steady by January 2021, or this could be eased in the coming days as well. Thank you, Noreen.
Thank you, Mr. Toyib. The second question was submitted by Sondrin Tool from Sports Division. This will be answered by Mr. Assad. What are the procedures in place for testing during a diving cruise before departure?
Thank you. For PCR tests, we have several hospitals that has built the capacity now. So PCR tests can be done at ADK Hospital, Indira Gandhi Memorial Hospital, and Treetop Hospital in Hulumade, as well as some regional hospitals such as Kurudufushi Regional Hospital and Adu Equatorial Hospital Laboratory. We also have a designated sampling booth in Hulumade. As you all know, Hulumade is all the safaris where they dock when they finish their cruises. So for tourists who are visiting safaris that require pre-departure PCR test, which is an initiative taken by National Boating Association of Maldives, which is set up in Hulumade now. Samples will be taken on a booking basis, which the safari themselves will help arrange to ensure sample is taken with sufficient time between getting the result and times scheduled for departure. I would like to also highlight that we have come to an arrangement with the hospitals that they will prioritize any tourist sample before testing anybody else. They will give priority for all the tourists in the sample testing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Assad. The third question was submitted by James Schillinglaw from Insider Travel Report. Are all resorts now reopened in the islands? What are the entry requirements for US citizens and which airlines are flying? This will be answered by Mr. Toyib.
Currently, not all the resorts facilities are open yet. As of 3rd of this month, 101 tourist resorts have been in operation. 101 liverboats, or what we call safari vessels, have been given permits for operations. 28 transit facilities in the Greater Malay region also have been given permit to operate. A list of approved opening dates of the tourist facilities are available on the Ministry of Tourism website, and Deputy Minister Assad could answer if I miss anything. All travelers arriving to Maldives require a mandatory negative PCR test, which is done 72 hours before arrival, and an online health declaration form needs to be filled 24 hours before arrival. PCR tests for infants aged less than 1 year are exempted from today. In addition, a prior booking should be confirmed in a resort, liverboat, or guest house. All our tourists are welcome with a 30-day on arrivals. As for the airlines, which are flying to the country, Emirates and Qatar Airways connections are established with the US but there are no direct flights from the US to the Maldives at the moment. Other flights include Etihad and Turkish Airlines as well. US citizens with a valid passport and any other country as well and necessary travel documents are allowed to transit through Doha, Abu Dhabi, and Istanbul. Thank you.
The next question will also be answered by Mr. Toyib. This question is from Peter Zinger of Mine Iceboro. Are diving cruises possible?
As liveaboats are now open, cruises can be carried out, I guess. And I'm sure, Asad, correct me if I'm wrong, for diving trips in resorts, prior booking must be done to use this service. Tourists will be asked whether they show any signs of fever or respiratory symptoms at the time of making the booking, and systematic patients will not be allowed to use this service. Tourists may be encouraged to bring at least their own diving mask, and all equipment must be disinfected after usage. Existing inter-island travel restrictions must be followed. Hence, excursion trips, including diving cruises, will not be able to pick up tourists from multiple resorts. Crew of these excursions must be based in the resort and minimizing the number of persons on the trip to allow for adequate physical distancing. And it's very important to follow these instructions. Asad, did I miss anything?
No, Tayyib, you are right.
Okay. Yes, Noreen.
The next question was submitted by Geraldine Debay from Select Tour. How is customer safety like on small flights from Malé to atolls? This will be answered by Mr. Asad.
Thank you, Noreen. Since it has been like 1.5 months to close to 2 months since we reopened the border, we have made sure that all the things that we set up pre-opening the border, we actually check all the measures were taken, I mean, as per the health authorities. So the cabin crew and flight crew will be wearing adequate PPE, and all the passengers should wear masks since our planes is a small cabin. So physical distancing of at least 3 feet and is encouraged to be kept at boarding queues. Prior to boarding, seating arrangements should be identified, and a record of this arrangement should be kept for every flight for the purpose of contact tracing in case anybody from that particular flight got positive. And seaplanes and domestic flights are required to be cleaned and disinfected after each journey according to the recommended protocols. Moreover, if a seaplane crew needs to transit in the resort for overnight or in between the journeys, they should stay in a designated room, not to mix with other staff or tourists, and meals will be delivered to their rooms. Loading and unloading of patient from flight should be as per the civil aviation rules. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from Irmgard Wenzel of Verkehrsbüro Provorreisen. Will there be a program that pays the costs and new return flights if guests have to quarantine? This will be answered by Mr. Toyib.
Details of all costs of COVID-19 PCR testing, quarantining, and treatment can be passed on to tourists by the place of stay and are borne by the guest. And I think Asad can add to this. Yeah. Asad, do you want to add? Will there be a program that pays the costs and new return flights if guests have to quarantine?
At the moment, we don't, but as per the guideline, if any tourist has to be quarantined, the cost and everything has to be borne by the, as per the guideline is mandated, the responsibility is given to the property. So it's upon the property to, to charge or come up with some kind of program that will encourage the tourists to travel or return. Thank you.
Now we have the final question, which will be answered by Mr. Toyib. Do you think the introduction of the PCR test will discourage tourists from traveling to Maldives?
I think the participants can answer that, but still I will, as you asked the question from me, as PCR testing has become a new norm in almost all the countries, I believe that having a pre-testing will not be of a massive disadvantage to us, mainly because most flights also require pre-testing so that results are used in a two-way situation. There can undoubtedly be people who get discouraged to come to Maldives. Still, however, at the same time, there will be people who will also be pleased to hear that Maldives take safety very seriously when it comes to both our visitors and locals as a part of an international responsibility. In fact, I spoke to some missions today and they mentioned that these additional precautionary steps have been received and being received very well from these countries. So I think we are very safe in this.
Thank you, Mr. Taib, and thank you, Mr. Asad. And that would be all the questions that we can take for today. Before wrapping
Noreen, I think there's a very interesting question just pop up. Sorry to interrupt. It says, about the PCR test. Does it have to be in English, and where to get a health document in English that confirms tourists? I think Asad can update on the recent updates. It doesn't have to be only in English, isn't it, Asad, Deputy Minister?
Yeah. Initially, we asked to present it in English, but since some of the people from the industry, there is this concern that there has been, difficulties from certain countries getting this certificate in English. So we have removed that requirement. So in major languages, if they present this PCR test, will accept, the airlines will accept the PCR test. And today we have actually circulated this regarding the PCR test, and there has been some changes. I think Toyib has already highlighted about the exemption of kids below 1 year old, and the 72 hours, that's not from the entry, it's actually 72 hours prior to the scheduled time of departure. So I think there is enough time for testing, and also that will, for the doctors, what they're saying is the 72 hours is the maximum that they could give for the time being. So I think for the time being, we can go with this. And if since season is ahead, so if there is a requirement to extend the time, we'll be negotiating with our health officials if there is any way they can extend the time frame so that it will be convenient for the travelers as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandrine, and thank you, Mr. Tayyib and Mr. Asad. And that would be all the questions that we can take for today. Before wrapping up, I would like to request our Managing Director, Mr. Tayyib Mohammed, to say a few words before the final closure of the session. Mr. Tayyib.
Thank you. I would like to make it very short and ask any one of our industry participants, the three of them, Murad and the other two, Robert, whether they want to add anything in particular, because they are very important for us, the travel trade partners who have come in with our experiences. We only launch few experiences, but there are over 70, more than 100 experiences where we cannot show it in a 1 hour session. From living like a local to a movie under the stars. I wish I could experience all this. But with this COVID-19 situation, I think it's not that easy to experience all these. Anyways, if there's anybody who wants to say anything from our industry participants, just quickly, I would like to give them an opportunity as well.
Yeah, I would like to thank you, all partners, all the PR agents who are, tirelessly helping the organization to do the marketing. Thank you very much for doing that. It is helping us. And thank you all the trade partners who are listening to us from far away. You have been amazing, and thank you for all the help that you are giving. This is uncertain times. Yes, this will pass and it will be beautiful again. And that's what we are working on. And Tayyip, thank you for leading such a great team. Thank you very much.
I would like just to join Murat's word as well. Thank you to everybody for joining us here. Thank you, MMPRC, for giving us the opportunity to be here. And as we all say, see you soon in sunny side of life.
Yeah. Thank you all. Back to you, Noreen.
Thank you, Mr. Tayyip. And thank you to all the panelists for showcasing the wonderful experiences and information provided to all participants. And of course, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us in the second session of our Rediscover Maldives webinar series. We hope all the participants enjoyed the experiences presented and similarly hope that the session was informative as well. We wish you all a wonderful day ahead and thus conclude this session. Thank you.